Hello, I'm Dale Yellowlees. I live in Saskatchewan in Western Canada. I've been a teacher all my life. First of all, I taught high school, and then I was involved in a lot of curriculum leadership and instruction at university. And for the last 20 years, I've had the chance to work exclusively with international students. First of all, I was the leader for my public school system of a project which brought international students to Canada. And that involved an awful lot of one-to-one communication, problem solving, assistance with language problems, assistance with curriculum difficulties. Then I went on to the University of Saskatchewan to work as the marketing person with the Language Center. And again, that has brought me into the world of international students. So I've had a chance to work in China, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Mexico, Brazil, and I've met literally thousands of international students at fairs, one-to-one sessions, seminars, and so on. It's given me a chance to understand a lot of the challenges in communicating difficult concepts and in difficult aspects of English. And so I think it would be very, very interesting to work one-to-one with international students to help them as I have in the past. The sample lesson that I'd like to offer has to do with the powerful silent E, which occurs at the end of many words in English. The special power of the letter E that I'd like to talk about is the way that the E can remain silent and cause other vowels to change their sound. In my travels, I've found that many times people have problems pronouncing my name, and it's a good example of the power of the silent E. So Dale, D-A-L-E, where the E remains silent, and the A takes the same sound as it would in the alphabet, A-B-C. So we can have a bit of a chat, and the student can practice this sound by using my name in sentences and in a conversation. This way of speaking is called the long vowel sound, A, E, I, O, just as in the alphabet. And so the student should practice saying these A, I, and so on. And again, this is a chance for correction. And so for the sake of contrast and clarity, the lesson points out that vowels also have a short sound. And we have examples like the A in hat, the I in sit, the O in cop, the U in cut. And so the student would work with me to practice these short vowel sounds as well. And then next we would see that by adding the E, these same easy short words that have had a short vowel sound now have a long vowel sound. So hat becomes hate, sit becomes sight, cop becomes cope, cut becomes cute. And so student and teacher will work through these examples for practice and clarification. And we continue on for more practice. Rat, rate, mat, mate, bit, bite, and so on. And continue to practice and try to help the student consolidate this understanding about how the long and short sounds are possible. Now, we don't want the lesson to be tedious, but we do need to point out what the pattern is once again. So, for the words that we're looking at, if there's no E at the end, then it's going to be a short vowel sound. But if there's an E at the end, then for the pattern that we're using here in this lesson, it will be a long vowel sound. And we'll continue practicing with new words, the short vowel and the long vowel. And of course, we'll note that the E is an exception, that it's rare that the long vowel E results from the powerful silent E at the end of the word. Now, unless this is actually a grammar lesson, it's not really necessary for the students to know all of the rules, but for some students it might be appropriate for them to think about why the pattern is the way it is so that they can problem solve for themselves and figure things out in the future. And so we talk about it a little bit if necessary, And if the student catches on quickly, or if the student is quite experienced, the teacher can ask the student to come up with other words, think of other words, or look at a page and pick out examples from a page of text. As the lesson comes to a close, it's possible to review what has been mastered, to reinforce the concepts and ideas, to perhaps review some of the examples, and to suggest how this concept could be extended into other words. If the student is interested in having another lesson with the same teacher, then of course there could be a plan for continuity, and this concept could be extended to much more complex words. However, it would really depend on the student and how well they seem to understand or how much more practice they need.